Doesn't seem like he cares to do it right now. We've seen some people do it, like a web in each lane, and you just keep moving around your one web in your lane until you hit level 2 in the webs. I wonder, maybe he just doesn't think it's worth it, either because Darkseer might be left alone a lot and it's just not worth bothering trying to fight out that regen game, or he feels like he needs the extra movement in his lane without having to reposition the webs a whole ton. Because not every Broodmother does it. I've seen it a couple people like will do it, and I think it's cool, but I don't know how value it is.
4 runes. The post
Good
rune.
luck, have
Good luck,
fun
have
after
fun
that.
from Celery. Hey guys, nice job. Boomers, you
Double
can't
down.
click runes. Oh my lord. Well, quick gold lead already for Gamin Gladiators. I mean, it is not the end of the world, right? But it does make a huge difference in terms of those first set of courier items coming out. They have a good deep ward placed on the bottom here from Tofu. Be able to get some couriers with that.
No, 4 is pretty good, man. 4 is pretty good. Like, I don't think bounty runes are typically worth dying over, especially if you can just like let it go. Like 3 to 1 is whatever, but 4 is kind of bad.
Yeah,
you're right. It's not the end of the world, but it's you're on a back foot. Like, just to talk it out, right? There's a lot of cheap items that are really impactful in the lane, like sentries to block and unblock camps, blood grenades, the extra stats when you live by like 10 health, right? A tango or a salve early, stuff like that. And one side just got 160 gold and the other didn't, which means you could buy like those cheap items and make a difference while the other team is still just passively, like, it takes like a minute and a half to passively get that gold.
Yeah. It does. I was like, the big thing is for supports, I think, like you're saying, right? Getting the sentries for blocking and unblocking, an extra set of tangos, maybe a stick. Like, all of that adds up for sure in the lane. Doracchio's courier. Oh, no. Katomi off to his courier shenanigans again, even when he's not playing the Monkey King.
I'm definitely keeping an eye on this Spirit Breaker, since this is a bit of a rough lane and you see them creep dragging to avoid it as such. But he'll eventually start roaming around, and I'm curious to see what he can get done. Pango's not the easiest hero to gank, although no one's doing a great job at the start to build an early lead.
That's some sick courier micro and movement from Fishman in the bottom lane there. Like, to not only hide his courier, but then to walk back to it. And obviously, Weaver would love to make the play for it, but then he gives up his ward immediately if he does. So, yeah, cool stuff from him. Overall, CS in these lanes looking fairly good. Gamin Gladiators with a slight advantage at the moment, which, like you said, partly because they want to dodge the really hard off lane, right? So they're just going to try and farm safely here on DM. As they're going to get aggressive now right away with the help of the Jakiro. Level 3 on the CK, just laying in some auto attacks. I mean, this is the Jakiro effect. It's not even just Chaos Knight. It's the fact that Jakiro's just sustained damage between the Liquid Frost and Dual Breath can push out any hero, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 100 extra damage, like just from Dual Breath, because Dual Breath has 10 ticks of damage. So with the Liquid Frost compared to Liquid Fire at level 2, you're doing like 100 more damage if you commit that full combo. So when you have someone like Chaos Knight, who is a pretty burst-heavy hero, then you actually threaten kills. Ooh, that's a good courier kill.
Yeah, Tofu actually gets it this time. Pango and Snapfire actually having a pretty good lane mid. Snapfire a little bit ahead at the moment, which shouldn't be too surprising thanks to Scatterblast just being such a good last-hitting tool. And then just, oh, Quinn just barely off the mark there with the shield crash. And now needs to be a little bit careful as there's a TP coming in. Spirit Breaker with the charge, the minus armor stacking up, and he's got an Ion Shell. Oh, no. The first blood going to Katomi, and Quinn punished for his overextension.
Radiant are scanning.
He wanted that solo kill. He was close to getting no one pretty low. But, like you said, going too far. Spirit Breaker gets a kill, gets some assist. I guess Darkseer got some too, actually, for he's having a rough time, so he gets a little bit of a, gets an assist in his
I'm
Kill score there.
helping. Just throw the ion. It's like when you ink swell your ally on the TP, right? This time it's the ion shell. Surged away there on Katomi, taking a. This top lane, like you cannot do anything to this Chaos Knight. He will just free farm. I thought the Morphling lane was gonna go better, but my lord, Ace is absolutely crushing this lane. It is 25 and 15 to 12, and Tofu is gonna get another courier, and this time it's Watson's pair of boots.
I didn't think this would be so
He's gonna get another one.
one-sided.
He's gonna get another
actually.
one. His ward expired, but he knows the courier's here, and that's got.
There's so much on that courier.
He got it
Delivered in
delivered.
time.
Oh my goodness. That's like Fishman's entire net worth on that courier, outside of literally 200
That's
gold.
true.
Like, oh, he's like, ward's over here, right? Oh no. Oh, the ward just expired, my guy. Oh,
Now there's a ward there.
dude,
I think you should see it.
that
I think that
hurts.
sentry is
This is a
still.
good
I think that
opportunity
sentry
for
is still within the 12 seconds that it gives ground vision.
Do you think so?
He won't be able to deward it now, but
He has
should
a
be able
flying
to
courier
later.
in a little bit, right? He gets it at level 3, so he might be able to send it over.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten pretty lucky with that.
Quinn, mid lane, in trouble. Mortimer kisses are out. The level 6 of the Snapfire already paying off is now Katomi looking at help chase Celery behind the tower. It's just a double kill for no one. The Snapfire off to a fantastic start. 500 gold and 1400 damage. I mean, that's just the pressure that Snapfire mid has, and it was already winning the lane. I think that's why maybe Quinn made that aggressive attempt earlier, knowing like he's like, I gotta beat her to level 6. Doesn't quite end up happening, and then they just bring quick rotation from the Spirit Breaker. Very nice.
Yeah, that's the snowball effect. That first death is what put him behind in XP further to allow that kill. If he had rolled, then he'd be fine there. This is important for Entity because their side lanes are not going well. So you need someone to play around with. Looks like it's going to be no one. I like that he's got the Atos queued up first. That'll help him be a little bit more active. He's actually popping this haste rune to put more pressure on Quinn. And he'll need to... I don't know. Killing Brood will be really tough because she actually went double Bracer Soul Ring, which is part of why she's winning this lane. But it also means she's super hard to kill, already at 1200 health, and then fast on the webs. But I mean, you got like the Sven stun, the Spirit Breaker stuns, so it should be possible if you want to go there. But I do think it's important, like 30 seconds before Mortimer's kisses up, you probably see another mid-fight for the rune. If you have to use it there, then that's fine. But if you can get the rune without using the ult, then I think it's really important to go to one of these side lanes and start trying to change it.
I absolutely agree. I think you gotta look to use the next Mortimer kisses on a side lane. It's gonna make such an impact for whoever's lane you gank. He did end up getting that D ward, as our observer pointed out, so thank you very much. But Ace, level 6 on the Brood, the tower is not gonna last very long, and you can already see the Morphling has just left. He's like, all right, I'm out. I'm gonna farm jungle. I've accepted my tower is not going to survive any longer. Quinn actually getting an illusion rune here in the mid lane. That's big, actually. Just taking the power rune for free when his team is not there, and you're taking the offlane tower. This is the best scenario here for Gamin Gladiators because you're already opening up the map, and even though your mid lane's going exceptionally well here for Entity, the Broodmother now is a major threat because she will web through the whole jungle. She can make quick rotations into mid, but hold on, Quinn in trouble. Rolling Thunder gonna come through. He's gonna be able to close the gap here onto no one, but they're just gonna maybe settle for Fishman. The Rolling Thunder doing a lot of work, but he pops the illusion rune trying to get out. Katomi with the charge, he gets a barrier. It's gonna be enough with the slow as well. They don't finish off the Sven. They don't get anybody. It's just the Jakiro that dies.
Lil Shredder was just a little bit off cooldown, and then the barrier that Pango got from the shield crash helping to keep him alive there. I guess you still get a kill though. All the kills going for the side of Entity, and again putting no one, right? No one in the supports are getting something out of this, while the other cores are just trying to catch up. So at least the heroes that need to get something done right now are involved. He actually did switch over to a Maelstrom. Maybe he's like looking at the side like, all right, I'm gonna have to carry this one. I need a little bit more gold and farm for myself. They're gonna run into no one on this smoke gank in the triangle. There's no roll though, so
No.
you could maybe kill a support, but I think no one will be pretty tough.
Really good deep ward place. But here's the thing is like all they're trying to do right now is open the map for the Brood, and that is exactly what he's getting. Ace is finally mid after farming all the way through the jungle, and your mid tower now under pressure. You don't have Mortimer Kisses. All right, Nether Strike is out. Okay, baby.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
He has Lance of Pursuit on no one. I don't know which way the Brood was facing, but
He was facing
I
backwards.
suppose. Okay, yeah, so that's like an extra 120 damage. That's kind of cool. That Brood got melted. We were saying maybe didn't have damage. Clearly they have the damage. I was wrong.
I mean, I'm surprised that he just kind of face tanked the tower on his own. All right, but looking at the heroes, Weaver can't really be up there either, and Pango is like the counter initiation with Rolling Thunder. So I think after that one, we're gonna see Ace just play for his items, kind of just farm, tank up a little bit. This has been some great space though for the Darkseer, who's almost completely recovered.
Yeah, I think that was also a little unfortunate because Ace was just doing the micro to like send the spiders a little ahead to scout out, and it was like in the middle of those spiders walking out that they got him.
Almost some deja vu here. I mean, just this Stormhammer into Little Shredder is enough to kill almost anybody in the mid lane. Quinn does have a shield rune. The Virtuous Dale, you know, even a salve tossed over from Tofu. They are just giving him everything he needs right now. Just topping himself back off. Duraccio smoked in the triangle. They're going to see Katomi. It's not the best target, but you will take it. Ice Path is out. Even a wall, though, coming up from DM to try and make a little bit of space. And these illusions starting to hit really hard. Another strike out onto the backside, but you've actually got a Rolling Thunder kill onto this Snapfire. Katomi will survive. The Chaos Bolt, not enough either. Duraccio's like, do I fight into my illusions or do I leave? I don't know what's going on here.
So many illusions, actually.
Radiant's middle tower
All right,
is under
you're
attack.
happy with that trade, Weaver for the Snapfire.
Snapfire being dead means mid tower, which is big.
Yeah, and off of this, they might move to steal that Ancient stack as well that they've scouted out. Partly from that movement, partly from that deep ward they have earlier. Well, Snapfire makes it back in time.
They defend.
All right. It lives a little longer. Is there maybe a miss having Liquid Fire a little bit on Jakiro? You're looking at that tower. You're like, that would be dead right now if I had the other facet.
True. True. Very even game right now. It's 6-1, right? Entity are the ones actually finding kills.
Radiant's top tower
But
is under
you have
attack.
Broodmother and Chaos Knight who have largely been uncontested this game in terms of their ability to farm.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, the Darkseer and the Morphling are slowly catching up, though. They're kind of back
Yeah.
to where they need to be.
Radiant's
And
middle
if we think
tower
about the
has
heroes,
fallen.
this is a little bit expected. Like, Gamin Gladiators did pick strong laning heroes, such as the Chaos Knight and Brood, so they actually sort of need to be a little bit ahead right now. And they're relatively happy, I guess, with where they're at, but I do think they'd like to get something a little bit more done in the early game. Possibly waiting for this Orchid on the Chaos Knight. Let me see, what's I think Ace was working on a pipe. Yeah, he's about like 400 gold from that. So you could line up some of these item timings together, and we'll see if they can get a little bit more done with that. They see Ace.
Tofu is in front of him. He's going to see the charge come through. He's kind of quick, but is it enough distance to get away? I don't think so. The team is there. Time lapse. Actually dodging out a decent amount of damage as well as another strike. It does finally connect, though. And DM will finish the job. I mean, there's 5 heroes into their own jungle to get this Weaver. But a good TP, smart rotation from Snapfire to protect their Wisdom Rune.
I think you don't mind too much on Tofu for dying there. It means Ace got out alive because they were looking for Ace.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the fact that your Weaver died instead. Okay, they do end up getting the D ward, so maybe that's the part you're a little sad about, that you lost your ward and you placed in the enemy jungle. It's going to make it harder to play in there.
I have to imagine Gamin Gladiators know that there's a ward there, or else the charge wouldn't have been able to connect. So they'll probably try to make a move in there into getting a D ward. But for now, I think largely just continuing to farm. Broodmother finishes the pipe. Quite good, actually. Fastest so far of the patch, so can't really complain there. And that's with even having that death in the mid lane, so you can see kind of just the specialty that is the Gamin Gladiators Broodmother.
They're going to let Ace finish off this top tower on his own.
Your Orchid. That's a big one. They're going to find Katomi. Orchid out immediately. The damage should be enough. He's got a decent amount of barrier from the Sven, but the Soul Burn does it as Watson now needs to be a little bit careful. Waveforms down to the low ground. It'll be okay. Good use of that first Orchid.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, looks like they're going to actually pressure the tier 2 pretty early, but there is a catapult here. You do have a Broodmother. I don't think they're expecting to take it right now, but they're just going to get some damage in, and they're just going to try to hold this area. They've now got all the tier 1 towers. This is where you want to start restricting the map away from Entity and start to build up a real lead. Like, yeah, 2k, but it's really not that big of a deal. But if you can hold this much of the map for like another 5 minutes, you'll see that grow to like 7k pretty easily.
Oh, yeah. DM working on his pipe has the mech done. I actually don't know if the ward saw Dyrachyo there, but he needs to be careful because he doesn't know that he is walking into some very strong heroes. The Stormhammer is going to come out, but he's like, all right, later. I'm just going to go through the portal and farm top. See ya.
Yeah, they're respecting it. He's pretty scary right now. The Orchid and the Armlet.
We've seen this before. Mid lane pipe, though, coming out. Can he get the Rolling Thunder? Quinn, vacuum, the waveform, they got him. Big macro pyre out as the Mortimer kisses now raining in Tofu. He has no mana for the time lapse. Oh, he pops the Lotus. Blood Grenade, he's got to do it. The charge is coming. Time lapse back into the middle. He goes down in health. That's not what you want. Katomi gonna burn here to the Jakiro. Is on the other side of the fight. They find Dyrachyo. He's trying to armlet toggle, but he's 1 second to the Phantasm, and he can't get it. Big win here for Entity in the mid lane. As they're not done, now looking for Ace on this Broodmother. They don't have the catch, but it will open up the mid lane if they want. Now they'll respect the Pango.
We're talking about restricting the map, but I think they tried to split themselves up too much, because as part of playing aggressively on the enemy side, you're close to their tower, so they can TP in, which is sort of what we see here. Pango's roll got countered. That got interrupted like 3 separate times. I'm sure he's annoyed about that. But a really good play from Entity to make sure they get that Pango, and then once that Pango's out of the fight, they just chase whoever they can find, which, they got the Weaver, and then I think they got some damage in on the tier 1. They actually got pushed off of it in the end. But yeah, Gamin Gladiator's just splitting up a little bit too much there.
Yeah,
CK being the big kill there, and actually another Pango kill.
Yeah, I think Quinn's having a very rough game, but he is playing with 2 very farm-heavy cores, right? So him being the lowest net worth core on his team isn't really the worst thing, but he needs to start tanking up so that he can be kind of this frontliner that gets saved and gets bailed out by this like pipe and this mech that comes out from the Brood. You might have to invest into an early roll-up, because I don't know how else he's going to be able to get his ult off unless he's, just suddenly has like 6,000 more net worth.
Yeah, Ace's Broodmother is usually, like, you can kind of think of it as a mid-hero, really, the way he plays and the way they, like, let him farm up. But he is building a lot of auras this game, which does make me a little bit concerned, like the fact that Pango and Chaos Knight, like Pango's doing a little bit more utility, but then Chaos Knight's getting killed, so he's not building a huge lead. Then, I don't know, there might be a point where you just drop off in damage, especially like Darkseer's building all the auras, you got this Warcry giving you extra armor, maybe you're copying a CK illusion too, charging through all of them, right? You have a decent amount of AoE, so I don't think you can afford to really make those type of mistakes too much this game.
This is a really sick Roche. Roche for the Radiant tier 2 bottom. if they even finish off the tower, is fantastic here for Entity, because looking at Gamin Gladiator's items, like, they want to fight right now. They go for a really early Blink Dagger on the Chaos Knight. You don't typically see this, but this clearly indicates like Gamin Gladiators want to try and just run down the side of Entity with these heroes. So Aegis going to make that a little bit more difficult. They'll put it on no one Snapfire, which I think is the best of their options just because of how good of a game he's already having, right? And if the Chaos Knight finds him, it is going to be a off the blink Phantasm, and that would just be an easy kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Agree with that.
Scanning.
I also think Morphling's pretty survivable, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's gonna wait and choose the best time to go in.
Dire's middle
And
tower
actually, Dark
is
Tier's
under
kind of going to
attack.
do something similar because he wants a good vac wall. So it's kind of going to be like Spirit Breaker, Sven, and Snapfire who start
walk in.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not making it. The supports might be making a case. You know, kind of was like, "Look, I charge in. I'm at the most risk."
There's a 6 smoke. They get the Aegis. The team needs to get here really fast off mount. The Ice Path is already down. They pull him back. Rolling Thunder in as well from Quinn. They've got no one. In comes Fishman with the God Strike, but it's not enough. But it's Watson's turn to get active here on the Morphling, trying to just do what damage he can. But no one's dying on the side of Gamin Gladiators. The only thing that's hurting them is their own illusions. They rip through Entity. The amplified damage on Quinn doing so much work here.
Radiant's
And
middle
now
tower is
Watson
under
needs to be
attack.
very careful. The Orchid is out. They've caught him. The Chaos Bolt, the damage starting to stack up. Can he get the waveform to the low ground? He does. But he's got no TP for 20 seconds, and you cannot escape this Chaos Knight. 4 heroes dead. Your mid-tier 2 tower falls. And they are absolutely thrilled with that engagement.
All Chaos Knight. Yeah, Snapfire being found was... So I know I said she's like part of starting fights, but she's behind the Sven and the Spirit Breaker in the ideal fight formation. So the fact that she got killed first and Entity tried to rotate in, yeah, we're going to see in the replay here. So as she respawns, they all set in. The wall and the Sven stun, it's all really good, but that's where the pipe and the Greaves come in. Pretty much you don't have enough damage without the Snapfire to get past those 2 items from Ace, and like while you're trying to do that, 3 of you have died, so now you're just in full retreat mode.
Tower has fallen.
Yeah, I think
Really nice find.
The biggest thing there is, like, this is the Blink Dagger from Chaos Knight paying off, like, instantly. Like,
That's true.
without
yeah.
that, you don't find that Snapfire kill, because there is no other Blink initiator, right? They smoke into the high ground there, and they find the best hero, like you were talking about, but it's the Blink Chaos Bolt that comes out that just completely crushes him.
Is under attack.
They were actually heading over on Entity at the time to go for Tormentor. So this whole thing starts going for the Tormentor. They lose the fight, and then this Tormentor now getting stolen. There's a good Ice Path. The Mortimer Kiss is zoning them out, but again, the Guardian Greaves in the pipe. A full disengage out from Gamin Gladiators is now, well, maybe Doraccio needs to be a little bit careful. If they get out clean here, it's really good, but Katomi not gonna let him. Just gets bash after bash. A nice amount of damage being dropped in. The Macropire's down, but Doraccio trying to burn. He gets the Armor Toggle. Is it enough? He gets back into the fight, turns on DM. The vacuum pulls him back in, but there's no follow-up. They find Celery onto the downside, and yeah, Celery, he dies, but the big kill was Doraccio, and you don't get it.
Very nice armlet toggles from Doraccio there. They wanted the Chaos Knight so badly, so they were chasing, but it meant the backline started to get exposed. Like Entity was kind of in a straight line for how they were chasing. So Gamin Gladiators, they just get to like pick where they join in that fight, and then the really sick arm. Like if you get the Chaos Knight, then that's probably a fine fight. But really nice armlet toggles from Doraccio to stay alive there, and you don't even care that Celery died. You're like, thank you for doing your duty, position 5.
Dude, his Ice Path literally saved Doraccio. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it was
like
so good.
he did his job. Well, an 8,000 gold lead now for Gamin Gladiators as they are really starting to find their momentum in this game. Spirit Breaker gonna
Yeah,
charge
that changed
away
so
there.
fast. I thought the Aegis steal, I thought that was really good. And, I mean, it was. And it was supposed to buy them time because Gamin Gladiators wouldn't feel great about pushing high ground without the Aegis, wouldn't feel great about forcing tier 2s too heavily. But finding the Snapfire so quickly and winning that fight, well, they're kind of like right back to where they were. It's like, oh, now you don't have Aegis. Now we do feel comfortable pushing these tier 2s really aggressively. Also, you're all dead because we won that fight, so we're not even scared about it anyways. And the game suddenly went from being really even to a 10k lead for Gamin Gladiators. That was over the course of like the last 5 minutes.
You know, I was talking about Quinn really desperately needing roll up this game. Well, because they take the enemy Tormentor and then their own, he gets his shard for free. So now Quinn way more survivable on this Pangolier, not punished going for this like harpoon Aghanim Scepter, right? Like that is like best case scenario. Of all the heroes that could have gotten their shard, this is literally the best one. So they are really happy about that.
Weaver's a little sad. He's like, I would have loved to farm a little faster. That's cool. I guess you can live mid laner, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Lincoln's now done. Dude, I mean, Ace is so farmed this game.
That's like the
Tofu's
standard,
gonna find
though.
the courier, and he might just use this as vision, thinking that they are top. And he is right, but maybe not knowing that he is all the way in the corner of the map. It's gonna be a really long journey. Toraccio will follow this courier forever.
Let's just debate. Just turn the courier around right now.
Dude, that's actually so funny. No way. Who courier micros like this?
Good micro from Ace, not only being farmed, but if you take a look at his spiders scattered across the map, they have really good vision right now. They have all the tier 2s. So the next objective is technically the high ground, but we're talked about it. Even with this 10k lead, you still don't really want to go up there without the Aegis, right? 9k feels good, but it's not game secured. So they're just kind of holding the map, using the spiders, using their wards to try to restrict Entity, being much better about not splitting up this time as well. And that's why you see Fishman doing things like this, just like making his way to the enemy's half of the map, just trying to jungle, just trying to get what he can. And I don't think Entity is going to be able to contest this Roche coming up. That's kind of what Gamin Gladiator is waiting for, seeing if they can get any kills in the meantime. But I think you're just going to end up having to wait for the high ground and defend around that, which you have some good heroes for. So Entity's going to have a good shot then. But it will be into the Aegis, and let me see the timing. Depending when it spawns, I mean, that might be the banner as well.
Could be
I guess you got
either side,
Snapfire, so
Radiant
might not be
Quinn's
that
coming
big of a
top.
deal.
They know DM is up here. The question is, if they find him, he's gonna walk into the Watcher. So they see him now. Rolling Thunder,
Instant
just
roll.
instantly thrown. He's gonna follow the path, right? Like they know he's here. That's kind of one of those moments of the shard kind of betraying you at the moment, but Quinn will eventually find DM with the help here of Tofu. He's gonna pop those Greaves, try and keep himself alive, but the swashbuckle damage, too damn much. And this will be double Wisdom Rune. Toraccio already set up to steal it.
Dire's middle tower
Making
is under
another
attack.
difference here. They're going to find Watson on the bottom side of the map here. Swashbuckles on through Quinn. He's got some help, though, from the Weaver. He's starting to fall a little bit low as that Vessel is already committed. The charge, though, from Katomi onto this Weaver. Does he get the bash? He gets the time-lapse off.
Radiant's top
In
tower
comes Ace. No one forced to BKB. He should make it out. No, the Yules! It comes through. Watson's got nowhere to go. The Ice Path is out. The Macropie there. They actually managed to dodge it, though, with the waveform, and they really want this Morphling. Tofu somehow surviving through all of this. They just clean up big again.
I didn't think they would be able to kill the Morphling since they just used roll, but they actually have so much mobility that's usually Morphling's way to do it, right? Morph strength, waveform away, you can't keep up with him. But they actually just follow along with max move speed or swashbuckles, chase him down. It takes forever for his team to get there. Ace cuts him off. And with those kills, even though you don't have Aegis, you feel fine coming up to poke the high ground. You're going to force the glyph out. You might back off soon since I think some of your stuff's... Oh no, rolls back up. Right, it wasn't even used.
Oh, doesn't look like they're backing up for now as Duraccio goes in. Takes a decent chunk of damage here, and because of that, the tier 3 tower actually lives. So you're gonna back up, give respect to the side of Entity. Dying on the high ground here is pretty much the worst thing that you could do on Gamin Gladiators, as Roshan just now respawns. We'll be on Dire side, but it will move bottom here in just a moment. So likely gonna see Roche set up on the Radiant side. Unless they're beelining it for Roche top, but there's no way. It's too late now.
Yeah, you'd have to interrupt it the entire time, which I guess if you got some really lucky bashes, maybe, but...
Just buys 2 moon shards somehow.
That'd be sick. That'd be an awesome Reddit clip. But nah, he's gonna make his way down here. I think this banner could actually work out really well for them. So it just changed. They're gonna have to do this fast because Snapfire can destroy the banner, but you can place the banner further back because of how long range the catapult is to make it really difficult for Snapfire to get to. But you have to do this really quickly because the catapults just spawned, so they are moving out right now.
Top lane, Katomi gonna get found here by Duraccio. Hits him. Oh my goodness, he gets the Shadow Blade off, and Bulldoze keeps him alive. I mean, he tried to get the burst with that Soul Burn, it's just not enough.
I think that was the tail end of Bulldoze. He popped Bulldoze to help clear out the wave, get that extra move speed for the bashes, but I think Duraccio just went like a moment too soon, and I think Bulldoze status resistance was still up.
All right, well, we're going to see the Butterfly picked up here on the Morphling. A pretty aggressive build. It does do very well against things like the Broodmother and the Chaos Knight. He just needs to make sure he has his Manta for the Bloodthorn. That's like the big thing he has to avoid. But overall, it gives Watson a huge boost in damage. See if they can actually stomp the high ground push, though, as they are getting ready to take down the tier 3 tower. The illusions here from the Chaos Knight doing their best, but no one clears them up. Cutting the mid wave. Oh, Tofu's found Watson. Bugs are out. He's going to try to wave form away. The TPs are coming. Everybody wants to find this. There's the Yules. Ice Path. He's so dead. What a good read by Tofu, man. He has been on it so far this game. And an immediate smoke back to the mid lane.
He's got Yules and Atos, so once he finds the Morphling, it's really difficult to actually get a TP off, right? And you only get one try because one of the TP's canceled. I mean, that's on cooldown forever. So he has to try to just run away from the Weaver, but that leaves tons of time for everyone to TP in. And eventually you just commit the Yules and the Atos to let the others connect. So very, very nice, just letting Tofu be the one looking in the back. If he doesn't find anything, then it's fine. The rest of the team will just stay out on the map.
Yeah.
All right, that Morphling kill, they're going to go straight high ground. And it looks like they're not going for anything crazy. They're just taking racks. They are not worried about like doing any cute glyph skipping stuff.
There's the spiders. I was like, where's all of Ace? Okay, they're going to get the melee barracks. This will give them a second fortification as the Morphling respawns. This is, again, it's just slow and steady here for Gamin Gladiators. They still have 2 minutes 45 seconds on this Aegis. You just picked up a BKB on your Chaos Knight as well, so you're feeling even stronger.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still got the banner too. You didn't even need it to break the high ground, so you can just use it for the next set. And now it's kind of scary. If you lose a fight in your base at this point, and there's enough spiders, they could potentially go straight for the end. They do have one more fortify at least, though, but that's why you got to be like really careful of using it here, because if you use it for a tier 3 and then lose a fight, that could be a Broodmother going for the base.
I was going to ask if Broodmother is transitioning at all into the core, but I just see the Eye of Scotty completed. So Lincoln's and Scotty now done. These are those like items that Universal Heroes just get so much incredible value out of, and he also gets the Defiant Shell. So this guy is statted up. He is so big.
I'd love to see him get a shard next.
Yeah, that's
The
what I was going to
Scotty,
say.
like-
I feel like that's just the next progression, right? Just get Insatiable Hunger Shard.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, he
is
can just
under attack.
directly fight the Morphling at that point. Like, that's why he got the Scotty this game, is because it's so good versus Morphling, as well as being a stat item. But there's other, like, stat items you could choose, so that's why he... But this particular game is choosing the Scotty.
They found Watson. They also found Fishman. The thing is Watson, he can't really go anywhere. His TP's been canceled. Fishman can't leave.
Oh,
The Broodmother
Fishman
has just held him in place. Big Ice Path Macro Fire out from Celery. The 4 staffs are through. You've lost 2. The buybacks are ready. No one's forced to BKB. They're going to turn around here off the double buyback, but can they actually find anything? Charging from Katomi. Ice Path there to block him off as Duraccio. Now just going to get aggressive again on the CK. They'll just turn their attention onto the lanes of Barracks. They lose nothing on Gamin Gladiators. You still have the Aegis, and you force a double buyback out of Entity.
Such a big economic win. At this point, the carry difference is 10,000 gold. So much. They can take it slow here. They have 30 seconds left on Aegis. They can maybe try one more push while there's no vac wall, but at the same time, I think you're pretty happy with what you got out of this very... I was going to say first Aegis, because that first one was gone so fast. The second Aegis, I suppose.
Fishman, you are kind of alone here, my guy. His team not that far behind, but Mortimer Kiss is actually trying to catch the backline, do a little bit of damage here to Duraccio. They know this Aegis is expiring in 8 seconds. If they can find him, he's got no BKB. This is as good as a chance you're gonna get. But Quinn, really good rolling thunder onto the backline, disrupting everything. The Bloodthorn's caught the Snapfire. The Ice Path again is there, and Duraccio's gonna beat him down. He's gonna buy back, but they've caught Morphling. Quinn just disrupting everything. The Ice Path following up, catching Katomi here. There is just so much disable that you're fighting into on the side of Gamin Gladiators, and the GG comes out. They will take game number 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Once you get caught out there, they were going for that Chaos Knight again, but with the armlet toggling,